Now in this video, I'll give you a head-to-head comparison between the Realme 5 and also the Samsung Galaxy A30s to help you make that purchase decision. And I'm also planning for the very first time in this channel to give one of these phones away to you guys, so keep watching. Hey, what's up guys, Adam Lobo here and you're watching Adam Lobo TV. If you guys are new, hello and welcome. Do consider subscribing to my channel as I release videos at least twice a week, sometimes 3 times a week. And if you're returning as a subscriber, welcome back guys, and let the battle begin. Now in terms of the phone's hardware, both phones do look great with a similar looking diamond cut design with a plastic build which kinda looks like glass. Then the camera bump on the Realme 5 is just slightly bigger compared to the Samsung Galaxy A30s, and due to its way larger battery, the Realme 5 is just a bit thicker and also heavier as well. And you also find a fingerprint sensor at the back of the Realme 5 compared to the in-display fingerprint sensor on the Samsung Galaxy A30s. And of course, when it comes to which is faster, the physical fingerprint sensor is way faster compared to the in-display one. And the good news is that both phones have a headphones jack, which is always nice to know, and also a micro SD card slot, which is also an added bonus, where the A30 supports up to 1TB and the Realme 5 supports a lower 256 gigs of storage. Now looking at the phone screen, the Realme 5 comes with a 6.5-inch IPS LCD screen, where the Samsung Galaxy A30s is just slightly smaller at 6.4 inches, but it does come with a Super AMOLED screen. But the Realme 5 has a better resolution of 720 by 1600 pixels versus the 720 by 1560 pixels on the A30s. But when it comes to viewing videos on both phones was great, but you'll get a slightly cooler tone on the Realme 5 compared to a warmer tone on the Samsung Galaxy A30s. But when it comes to watching videos on Netflix, there is a sort of a black bar where the dewdrop notch is on for the A30s, even if you pinch to zoom to full screen compared to the Realme 5, where the video goes full screen up to the dewdrop notch. So the Realme 5 has a better integration with Netflix. But when it comes to watching YouTube, they both cover the screens right until their dewdrop notches. Now as for the phone's cameras, the Realme 5 has a 12MP f1.8 aperture, an 8MP f2.2 13mm ultra-wide angle lens, a 2MP f2.4 which is a dedicated macro lens, and also a 2MP f2.4 depth sensor, where the Samsung Galaxy A30s has a bigger 25MP f1.7 aperture, an 8MP f2.2 13mm ultra-wide angle lens, and a 5MP f2.2 depth sensor. So yes, there's 4 cameras on the Realme 5 and 3 on the Samsung Galaxy A30s. So looking at the picture quality with the chroma boost turned on, the pictures on the Realme 5 look a bit more vibrant. Now the ultra-wide lens for the Realme 5 seems to be just a bit more brighter than the A30s, although it has the same aperture value, and this could be due to its image processing. Now in the camera app, you have the option to choose between the wide angle, 1x, 2x, up to 5x zoom on the Realme 5 compared to only the option to switch between the ultra-wide and the main lens for the Samsung Galaxy A30s. As for the portrait mode, both did an amazing job even if the objects had some complicated shapes, but the Realme 5 was just a bit more color accurate during this mode. Then as for taking pictures at night, the Realme 5 has the nightscape mode compared to a regular scene optimizer instead of a dedicated night mode on the Samsung Galaxy A30s. So the pictures on the Realme 5 surely looks nicer overall when taking nighttime shots with a better dynamic range and less noise on the pictures, especially when capturing glowing lights. Then as for the front camera, the Realme 5 comes with a 13MP f2.0 aperture, and the Samsung Galaxy A30s comes with a higher 16MP f2.0 aperture instead. But when it comes to image quality, as you guys can see, the images on the Samsung Galaxy A30s seems to just be less sharper on the areas of my hair if you zoom in closer, and the blacks on my t-shirt is slightly just washed out compared to the Realme 5. Then as for the portrait selfie, the images on the Realme 5 had a better edge detection, again the areas of my hair, and still a bit washed out, but had a better dynamic range for the blurred background areas. Then as for video, the Realme 5 gives you the option to record up to UHD 2160 up to 30 frames per second, where the Samsung Galaxy A30s only records up to 1080p up to 30 frames per second. So comparing the 1080p video, just to be fair, the Realme 5 was better in image stabilization. Then as for the front camera, both records up to 1080p up to 30 frames per second, where the image stabilization was better on the Realme 5, but I have to hand it to the A30s for slightly better colors on their video footage. Alright, so now let's check out the audio recording capabilities for both phones.
Alright, so this is the Realme 5 on the front-facing camera for the audio recording and also the image stabilization to see how does it fare compared to the Samsung Galaxy A30s. So this is the overall image quality, the audio test and also the image stabilization for the front-facing camera for video on the Samsung Galaxy A30s.
So, which one do you like? Now, speaking of audio, both phones have a mono-firing speaker, and based on my test, the Realme 5 was better in terms of clarity of the sound produced on the phone's speaker and also a better volume as well. So here's a quick sound test.
So now you're here again, knocking at my door. A little too late for, I'm sorry for. The lights went out 'cause you kept cutting the cord, and I started to fade into your gray.
Now, as for the phone's battery, the Samsung Galaxy A30s comes with 4000 mAh of battery with fast charging at 15 watts, where the Realme 5 comes with a really huge 5000 mAh of battery. But it comes with a micro USB port with regular 10 watt charging. But due to its larger battery size, the Realme 5 gave me a massive 8 hours and 56 minutes of screen on time compared to only 5 hours on the Samsung Galaxy A30s. So yes, as I've always said, size does matter when it comes to the size of the battery. Now, as for the phone's software, while I am a frequent user of Samsung's One UI, I have to say that using the Realme 5 as my daily driver and switching over to Realme's ColorOS 6 was perfectly fine, and I didn't find any issues when navigating, multitasking and using the phone on social media, as previously there were some issues over there. So this is surely based on your personal preference. Now, in terms of gaming, although the Realme 5 comes with 3 gigs of RAM compared to 4 gigs of RAM on the Samsung Galaxy A30s, both phones honestly did not feel much of a difference, especially when it comes to the movements during the game. So yes, in terms of gaming experience, when I played both phones, there were no issues. But I found that the Samsung Galaxy A30s did become a bit warmer during a longer gameplay. And last but not least, let's look at the value. Now, the basic variant of the Samsung Galaxy A30s is priced at 899 ringgit for the 4 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs of storage, and the Realme 5 is priced at a way lower 599 ringgit, and it comes with 3 gigs of RAM with 64 gigs of storage. So yes, in terms of value, the Realme 5 again edges this with a 300 ringgit lower price compared to the Samsung Galaxy A30s. Now, speaking of a lower price, since the Realme 5 comes with such an affordable price, I am deciding to give this phone away to you guys. So for more information on how you can win yourself one, I will leave those info down below at the description area. Alright guys, with all this comparison, do let me know which phone would you guys choose, the Realme 5 or the Samsung Galaxy A30s. Give me your vote at the comment section below. Now, if you guys want to see a detailed spec list comparison between both phones, I will also leave it down below. Aside from that, thank you so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this video and found this video helpful in making your purchase decision. And if you did, be sure to give this video a nice big thumbs up. Like, share and subscribe to Adam Lobo TV. If you haven't done so, don't forget to hit the bell icon just next to it to get notified for my future videos. Thank you so much for watching. This is Adam Lobo and I'll catch you guys in my next video.